Finland is my country of origin, my homeland, home country, as one could say. Am I a patriotic Finn? Maybe not. On the other hand, maybe yes. It's not an important question to me. I like Finland. Many things are very good and nice here, and I can see them more clearly now after I have been away for so long time. I am not going to tell anything negative about the government, about people, about culture, about society, about the weather. Well, it's summertime now, and Finnish summer is very hot. This year it's going to be on a Tuesday afternoon in the end of August. Other times it's very cold and rainy and unstable weather, but I'm still not going to tell anything negative about the weather. I try to adjust, and after hot tropics, after Thailand, after Vietnam, after Malaysia, it's not actually very bad at all. Well, I left Finland in January 2012 for Singapore. I went to work there. I was flying on a Finnair flight from Helsinki to Bangkok and further to Singapore. There was a group of drunken sex tourists, old Finnish men of the age that I am now. They were going to Bangkok, and they wanted to describe me later, when they were drunk enough, what they are going to do with the little boys in there. That was the moment when I hated Finns. Of course, it was not fair to hate just a whole nation and whole culture just because of few individuals, few idiots. But well, that was the case. I decided not to fly Finnair again and not to meet Finns in Singapore. Well, I met some. My boss at the office was Finn, and I had 5 or 6 Finnish colleagues there. But mostly I wanted to make contacts with locals, and I succeeded. I succeeded so well that I married a Singaporean local lady. What I want to rant about. I just ran out of picture with this editor, so I needed to add some more duplicate photos of this Finnish flag that I'm going to show in the background of my audio blocking. It's very late at night, in the evening, summer night. It's a Finnish summer night in the northeastern Finland, in North Karelia, Joensuu. It means that the nights are light, almost midnight sun, but midnight dawn or midnight, I don't know how to call it. So, but sun is not visible now, but it's still light, not dark at all. You can't see the stars. Yeah, it looks like dawn of a cloudy day. I was living in Singapore and Australia, and I was away from Finland for about 10 years, 11 and a half years. Then in the end of April 2012, I came back. First, I didn't like the idea of coming back, but just out of compassion to my mother and family members, I came back here. I went to Helsinki and Salo, Turku, and I really enjoyed my trip. I found it very positive being in the country, seeing the people, old colleagues, friends, family members, everyone. And I was doing yoga in Helsinki. I was running Helsinki City Run half marathon. I traveled around. I traveled to Oulu, Jyväskylä, Tampere, many places. I spent a lot of money. One of the things that are hard for me in Finland is that it's very expensive country. Especially after the cheap countries that I usually live, Malaysia, Vietnam, Ukraine. I think living costs are about 4 times more here than they are in Ukraine for me. Well, I'm actually renting a house for the same price that I was renting in Ukraine, and this is much better. So that's one of the pluses in my situation now. But still, I am a person of low income, and I am not going to put too much effort in making money. I rather choose my place of living so that I don't need to make more money than I get at the moment. Anyway, since 2012, it was the vegetarian festival, vegan festival, VegFest, and everything nice, as I already told you. So I came back. Next year, 2013, I spent only a week here. And then I went to 13 or 14 other European countries, mostly in the East Europe, best of them being Croatia, Serbia, and Bosnia-Herzegovina, Balkan area, and I want to go back there someday. Yeah, I went there, and, well, I went actually back to Finland in the end of July and spent a week or so there. Then 2014, I spent only a few days in Finland. In the end of April again, beginning of May. Best time of the year for me is the spring, but then I went to Spain and didn't like it at all. Then 2015, I decided to stay a little bit longer in the country. I spent about 2.5 months there. I arrived on Mother's Day, 9th of May. It's also Timo's Day, actually, yes. And I was waiting for the weather to become warmer. It didn't happen. But little by little I got used to it so I was cycling around the country. In the eastern Finland, near the Russian border, in the forests and little towns and villages, and I visited many friends. I was couch surfing with strangers. I had a very good time. And then I went to Sweden to see my friend who is originally from Finland. I had visited Sweden also in 2013 on my way back and enjoyed it a lot. This year, 2016, I came back from Ukraine and I decided to stay in a new town for me, Joensuu, in North Karelia. I have visited here earlier, but I haven't been living here for a longer time. I decided to live here at least for a month, maybe 2, who knows, even longer. There are lots of Asian students here, lots of Vietnamese students, some Chinese, and I have some vegan friends here. And what is the best? There's the cheap bus company, Omnibus, that is selling tickets, and it's really not too expensive to travel to other parts of the country. I'm going to go to Helsinki to attend confirmation party of my nephew. Yeah, my sister's son, he's a nephew. But on the other hand, I feel the need. I really miss Ukraine and I want to go back to Ukraine quite soon. Actually, I even thinking about going to Vietnam, but on the other hand, I decided to stay in Europe until next year. I think I should keep that decision. That's my problem sometimes. I want to be not only in one place, but in several places at the same time. And it's very hard to decide where to go. I don't want to run here and there, but I want to learn to stay in one place for a longer time and get rid of the restlessness of a traveler. I am traveling a lot, but being a traveler is a little bit difficult for me, difficult questions. I don't want to be a tourist. Nobody wants to be a tourist. Not even tourists want to be tourists. Well, some do, but for me it's not important to get to know places from outside, seeing the tourist attractions, seeing the famous places, learning about the history of the place. Well, I want to learn about history of larger areas. Like recently I have been listening to an audiobook about history of Ukraine and history of western parts of the Russia and eastern parts of Europe, where during the World War II, lots of people, millions of people were killed. Stalin and Hitler were operating in that area. Well, Finland was very close to becoming one of those areas, but nobody committed genocide in Finland, in the area of Finland, and Finland was not joined to the Soviet Union. They tried very hard, but didn't succeed. Yeah, I like history, I like culture, I like learning about the places, and I like learning about people in my own way. But mostly at the moment I like to do something, and I like helping people. Actually, when I think about my career, at the moment I would like to summarize even my IT career as helping people. That was the most important thing, and the thing that I really admire a lot. It's not called charity, it's volunteer work what I want to do. At the moment I wanted to do teaching in Vietnam, Ukraine and some other countries too. In Malaysia it didn't succeed, but in Ukraine and Vietnam really it did succeed. In Finland it hasn't succeeded a lot yet. There are those foreign students around, but I haven't got a good start yet. I am living in a quiet, very quiet place, in a very comfortable house. Let me be lazy for a few days or for a few weeks, do exercise, eat well, and then we will